everybody. I don't even know what time it is. I think it should be 7:30 on the dot. I decided to do things a little bit earlier tonight. I was hoping my cousin would join me from North Carolina because she always says, "Why so late?" I've got my recipe book for something woman. Oh, did I cover up the wrong? Oh, there we go. For something woman. It's my recipe book. I love this thing. Anyways, I love her cookware too. All right, now, you know the tradition. 10 lost children. Anne Haskin. Whoops, look at my light. It's bright. And there's my little sweet Anne. Y'all need to check out her book, 10 Lost Children. Anne Haskin. ANNHASKIN. Okay, now, the reason I wanted to do an early show tonight is because I have church tomorrow, and y'all, I have been so sick the last couple Sundays. It just drove me crazy not to go to church, but I just had to get myself together. I was feeling so horrible. Okay, now, let me see here. Let's see, what did I write on my notes? All right. Oh, this is important. You know, I don't want to forget this. It's so important. All right. I want to thank everybody for your sweet support. And when you subscribe, it costs nothing. And I want you to remember that. Because just one click of a button can change my life. And when I say that, that means this. I read up on it, and it says for 1,000 subscriptions you get one thing, and for 4,000 subscriptions you get another thing. And so I thought, so it can build up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the lowest you get starting out is like $8 to $12, and then you move up. So look, $8 to $12 is a big deal to me. Anyways, so I'm just telling you that you mashing that subscribe button and never watching me again, it's all right with me. But please, y'all, let me beg you with my eyes. Please, please, please subscribe, because you subscribing means that me and my babies don't ever have to beg and plead for another penny. Me and my babies never have to beg and plead for anything. We will make it. I just need you to give me just a little boost. And I beg of you, I sincerely beg of you to please subscribe. You don't have to watch me. Just subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe. I believe in miracles, and this is one of my miracles. And the reason I say this, y'all may not understand, but I used to be what you call a strong ox. I ruined my back early, lifting and pulling and moving and trying to prove I was a strong, stout woman. And I ruined my back early in my life. And then, of course, my knee got bad. And then, of course, the right knee's bad. And I fell the day before yesterday on concrete, slapped from my back porch onto my concrete floor in the carport, in the garage of the carport. And now my left knee and right knee is swollen. So it's just one thing after another, and I'm hitting 54 in a couple days. And so it's been a little rough, physically. And so it would be wonderful if I could use this right here. I promise to smile all I can if you'll just subscribe and help me do this. I believe in miracles, and I believe that y'all can help me do the one thing that I don't have to stand up and lift heavy stuff and, just y'all can help me pull this off. And I beg of you, please. Okay, so what we're going to do is just know that I don't even know all of you's names, and I still love you for subscribing and for telling your friends and family about me and spreading the word. And even if they don't watch me, tell them it's for free to subscribe, and maybe I can build up a little monetization. I forget what you call it, but either which way, I would love to not have to depend and beg for a penny. That would be absolutely wonderful. So if y'all can please help me and my puppies get us in a sweet little home, a sweet little one of those little buildings you can make into an apartment. My cousin, she's awesome, Carla Parker. She lives in north of right near Fort Bragg. It's in Pinehurst, North Carolina. And she's amazing. And she sent me a picture of the cutest building that was made into a little home. And I thought, oh my gosh, all I need is a kickstart. I just need a kickstart. And y'all can help me get that kickstart. Y'all can help me. And I believe in you. Now please believe in me. Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you for getting off here tonight. When you get off, I'm going to pray that you get on the phone or text your friends, your family, and make sure that every one of your friends and families goes to YouTube and download and subscribes. They don't ever have to watch me again. Just subscribe. Okay, so I do want to tell you today was my first tour. And so we found a tree picker. Y'all know what a tree picker is. That means a Bigfoot is standing behind a tree leaning like this, watching you. Anyways, but now we didn't see him until we got home and looked at the pictures. And so that was a really big deal. I really enjoyed seeing that. But you just don't, you never know. But I knew that this place, it was just amazing. You could tell it wasn't the woods or the tree forest that we normally see. Anyway, so, the second thing, I'm going to tell you some stories. My sister, Pam, she told me, she said, show them your comedy side. Well, let me share some of my comedy. I have a baby sister. She is amazing. She's loyal, and she's faithful, and she is book smart, and she is intelligent when it comes to studying, and she's amazing. But common sense, she has none. I love you with all my heart, baby sister, but you have no common sense. Anyways, so let me tell you a little story. We're going to start off by letting me tell you a little story on this Bigfoot channel. Anyways, she is a beautician, and she had took a job. She had a booth in the Glencoe Shopping Center years and years ago. And all of a sudden, she's sitting in there and she sees on the news that y'all better be careful. There is a woman and a man that has just robbed a bank, and they are down the street, and the police is trying to catch them, and the police can't catch them. And she seen that on the news, and I mean, she was just warning everybody. I mean, she was just warning customers and co-workers and everybody that walked into her little beauty shop where she was working. She warned them. She said, there's a couple out there, a man and a woman, that has robbed a bank. And she said, y'all better be careful. They are dangerous. And she said, So watch out. Don't let anybody ask you for a ride, and just be careful. Anyway, so she's just cutting hair, and she's just warning all her customers while she's cutting their hair, just be careful. There's a couple out there, they've robbed a bank, they're dangerous, and she's just a cutting. Anyways, and so the police pull up out front of the beauty shop, and they walk in, and they said, Shyla. They said, Shyla. They said, did you cut a man and a woman's hair? And she said, yes. And they said, you cut the bank robber's hair and then warned them that we was coming after them. I couldn't help it. I just laughed so hard. Shyla was warning while she was cutting the bank robber's hair. She was warning them, be careful, there's a man and a woman out there that just robbed a bank. And she was warning the bank robbers while she was cutting their hair. She didn't know she was cutting the bank robber's hair. I have never laughed so hard until I heard that story. But anyway, she is just, my sisters are my soulmates. You can't beat my sisters. Anyways, there is 5 of us. And we were called the Garrett sisters all our lives. Anyways, but they're one of a kind. They are such, every one of them are special in their own way. But Lord, I have laughed so much now I'm sweating. Lord have mercy. Anyways, okay, so the tours. If you want a tour to any of the sites, there's 2 in Gadsden, 2 in Piedmont, and then the one in Hoax Bluff. I have not stopped there yet, but I'm telling you, there's one in Hoax Bluff. You know them because it's like I told my sister. There's a forest floor, and then there's a messy forest floor. And you can tell a difference between normal, debris that has fallen, or maybe a wind or a storm that's come through and made some trees fall or something. And then you can tell a difference between that and the trees that have been, took down or not sanded down. They've pulled the bark off the trees and stuff like that on purpose. Like, I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they debark trees, but they do. Anyways, that's a strange situation. So how did y'all do on the 2 days of discussing the 2 sensitive subjects with the farm animals and the couples? Are y'all upset at me because we discussed such a serious subject the last 2 episodes? And I hope I handled it in a very ladylike manner, and I hope that y'all didn't get upset with me. I hope that I handled it in such a way that y'all didn't get upset with how I spoke about things. But anyways, I have a goal, and that is, I've just finally decided, instead of beating around the bush and getting emotional, I'm just going to be honest. I absolutely, firmly believe that because I love people, and because I love all people, that this is just something I love to do. And it doesn't hurt to sit here and talk to y'all like it does picking up heavy stuff and staying on my feet in ice cold weather and all that stuff that I used to do. And anyways, and I thought it would be wonderful if I could just earn a living through talking and laughing and cutting up and, discussing things. It would be wonderful. So I need y'all's help mashing that subscribe button so I can make a living this way, and me and my babies can live in a sweet little place. It don't have to be big, just big enough. Like I told you, I don't care if everything I have is in one room. As long as it's me and my babies, nobody can ever take it away from us. That is my goal, and I need you to help me meet my goal. And I believe in miracles. I really do. And I need your fingers to hit that subscribe button. That's what I need. I need your fingers. And I need you to either get on the phone or message your friends and family and keep sharing it. And hopefully somebody will see it and they'll share it to all their family members. And before you know it, I'll be built up enough where I can start getting monetized. And that would be awesome, y'all. That would be so, so wonderful. And so, can you help me do that? Can you help me reach my goal? I believe in miracles. And so, I can't help it. I have a lot of faith. And I have faith in you. Do you have faith in me? I sure hope so. Okay, now, let's go over this stuff right quick. So, let's talk about the Bigfoots in the windows. Now, y'all know good and well that they're talking about how that children are susceptible to opening windows when they see regular people at their windows thinking that they're friendly. Let's just hope that they don't open the window and no big hairy man at the window. So, and I don't know how you're going to handle that. Telling your child, do not open the window when there's... Who would be texting me right in the middle of me doing Anyways, so let me see, it might be important. But I don't think it is, surely not. But anyways, yeah, I don't know if you're a parent how you would handle if a hairy man comes to your window. Don't open, because then you'd plant that seed that there might be a hairy man gonna or knock on your window. So anyway, let's just leave it at that, and hopefully they won't have to find out. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. This is my notes from... Okay, yeah. This is my notes from the other. So, I just wanted to make sure I had it in here about the... I told you about... Did I tell you about the hog? About the hog they found? The hog was not cut in the middle. It was not cut right down the middle. It was not torn apart by a machine. This hog looks like one Bigfoot got on one side, one Bigfoot got on the other side, and both of them pulled. And when they did, of course, it might have been one Bigfoot just ripping the thing in half. I mean, I don't know. Their strength is unreal. So, but this hog, you can actually look it up. Bigfoot rips hog in half, and it'll show you on YouTube. It'll show you the video of it laying there, and you'll see that this thing was not cut. It was literally ripped in half. That's what kind of strength we're talking about. But last night we talked about the dark side of the Bigfoots. Well, I want to go over some sides that people say aren't so bad. So maybe they're like humans as far as their personalities, and like, for instance, last night we talked about the main ones, the ones that wanted to prove their manhood. Excuse me. And so we're going to talk about some sweet stuff that people have reported that, I think it'll be a little change, because the last two conversations we had was not good about Bigfoots. Some of them go rogue, and some of them want to prove their toughness and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so the Bigfoots that I'm talking about tonight are the ones that people gift, and the Bigfoots stand way back in the forest, and they wait for somebody to put some food or cookies or M&Ms or whatever into a little gifting bowl. That's what he does on Swan Lake Bigfoot, the little Canadian that I like to watch because he's real meek and humble. He's real sweet. But anyways, I like to watch him. But it's called Swan Lake Bigfoot. But I like to hear him talk. What was that? No, I'm not crazy, but a light just went up the wall. Like one of those laser lights, but it was yellow. I don't know if it was a lightning bug got in the house or something. Anyways, but a lot of people likes to do that gifting thing where they take and gift into bowls and stuff, and then you go back a day or two later and they've got it out of the bowls and all that. Well, he had his sunglasses on Swan Lake Bigfoot. I still got to look his name up, but he had his sunglasses on, and he just so happened to take his phone and take a selfie. And when he did, there was the prettiest, most clear Bigfoot in his sunglasses. Like, it was so funny. It was like the Bigfoot was standing directly in front of him or something and had turned around and looked at the camera. It was weird. But anyways, so the second thing is the man that was hiking. He was taking care of his aunt's property while she had surgery. And he was hiking, and when he did, he went to a logging piece of property where they logged, and the logs broke loose. And it had done crushed him. He couldn't breathe. He was spitting up blood. It was very, very, traumatic for him. And he had broke ribs and all that kind of stuff. So he's just laying there under all these logs. And all of a sudden, he said he first hears them. He hears two Bigfoots. And they're talking in a language, of course, he don't understand. They call it samurai chatter. I don't know. Anyways, that's what they call it. So he said he could hear them talking. And he said then they moved one of the logs. And he said, I could breathe better. And he said they moved the other logs off of me. And he said, I literally was so scared. I was laying there and I seen its face, and he said it had scars on its face. So I think when they fight other animals to kill them and eat and stuff, maybe even bear attacks or something, that they get scarred, or either that from animal attacks or them fighting one another for dominance or whatever that is. I still can't figure out why males do that to begin with. But anyway, but he said when they moved that last log off of him, just the ones on top of him, not the ones around him. He said when they moved that last one, he said it just so happens some loggers drove up and seen his his backpack laying down there near their tractors and stuff. And the loggers said, oh no, we recognize that backpack because he had already visited that day with the loggers when he was out hiking. And they had pointed out a deer up in the tree and everything. Anyways, he had all kind of stuff wrong with him, internal bleeding and everything. But those Bigfoots removed those logs. Now I'm talking big, huge, long logs that weigh all kind of weight. Anyways, let me see what it says. Oh, hey, Tammy, how you doing, dog? I hope you're doing all right. Anyways, thank you for joining me, sweetheart. And so they rescued that man, and he ended up living through it, and he told his story, and that blew me away. Well, then, a couple years back, a little bitty, I think they said he was 4, a 4-year-old little boy went missing for 3 days. And they finally found him. And when the police got over there and picked him up, and, to carry him back to his family and to the ambulance to be checked out, they said, where have you been for the last 3 days? How did you stay warm? Did you get anything to eat? He said, that man with hair, that bear, he said that bear with a lot of hair fed me. And they said, well, what did he feed you? And he said, let's see, not grapes. What was it? Berries and something else. So he told the police and his parents and the ambulance drivers and everybody that the bears fed him berries and that they stayed and laid up against him and kept him warm. So he thought they were bears because they had so much hair on them. And so I thought that was fascinating. And then another one I wanted to tell you about was this woman was going through a divorce. And she thought in her mind, I'll just take a weekend, I'll leave on a Friday, and I'll come back on a Sunday, and I'll just take me a kayaking weekend to clear my mind, because of all the divorce and the stress and all. So she went out in her kayak, and something happened. The water was rough or something, and she ended up turning over. And when she did, it knocked her out. And she said she woke up with something picking her up by the life jacket, by the back of her life jacket, that it picked life jacket and all up out of the water. And she said that she laid there, and she said, when I finally got good and awake, I realized that I was around a whole entire clan of these things. They were standing around me. Some of them were holding sticks, like the homemade walking sticks. And she said that they brought her a bowl of berries. They brought her a bowl of water to drink, and that the water was dingy and dirty. And she said that she didn't drink the water, but she said she told them thank you, and that she couldn't understand their language, of course, but she could understand who was in charge. And she said that it was a male that put the female in charge of taking care of her. And she said now this is graphic. I know it's going to be graphic, so just try to bear with me. She said that the people, the Bigfoots that were around her, every one of them started defecating around her. Not on her, but around where she was laying. And she said the smell, of course, was ridiculous, horrible. And she said, why in the world are they doing that? And she said, come to find out, there was bears in that area, coyotes, bobcats, and as long as they did that, those animals that were, mean, and that would come up there and grabbed her, and she couldn't walk, that they would have attacked her. So the Bigfoots defecated around her. Isn't that strange? In order to keep the other animals from getting near her. And so she said they came every day and checked on me. And she said into the following week, I think, which was a Wednesday, or I forget what day, I think Wednesday, she said that she seen two women kayaking down the river. And she said she hollered, "Help, over here, over here." And she said the two women got out of the kayak, come and picked her up on both sides and helped carry her back to the kayak. And she said that there was a time before she left that she had pulled a knife out of her bag. And she said that when she handed it to one of the males, she said he had been very gentle, with handling her and all. And she said, so she presented it to the male, and she said he just sat there and looked at it, like fascinated about that knife that she had just given. And it was tickled pink to have it. She said you could tell he was happy to have that knife, but he didn't know what to do with it, and he kept looking at it. And she said that she took her hands and showed him how it worked and then handed it back to him. But she said he, for a minute there, didn't know what it was and just kept staring and looking it over real good. That stuff fascinates me. And but there's several more stories. I won't bore you with all of them at once. But there is good stories, and then there is some bad ones. So I guess it's like humans. There's some good humans, there's some bad ones. And so, anyways, well, Tammy, I'm so glad that you joined me, darling. I don't see anybody else's name. So, anyways, I appreciate that you joined me, and I love you here, and I appreciate all your kindness and your support. And I love you. And I'm fixing to cut this short because it looks like everybody else must be in the bed. Anyways, but I love you. And we'll come on here tomorrow and we'll do another little quick show. Last night, was a good show. It's very graphic. The last two nights was very graphic. We discussed some very graphic stuff. I love you too, Tammy. And so like I said yesterday and the day before, the shows were graphic. So I know they were, but I tried to put them in a manner that it was a little more, you know, easier to hear. And so, anyways, but what I'll do tomorrow is come on here and tell you a few more good stories about some of the good things I've heard, because for the last 2 days we've discussed the bad ones. All right, so let's go over our list before I go. Read Ann Haskins' book, 10 Lost Children. And then, I thought this was backwards, by the way, and it's just as straight. I watched my video, and I told people that was backwards, and it's just as straight. Anyways, NV TV, Bigfoot. Look that up. Watch that channel. That is awesome. All right. Realize. I don't think that you're supposed to add the TV to the end of Realize. I think it's a channel called just Realize. But so NVTV Bigfoot, Realize, Maximum Fear, Swan Lake Bigfoot, and oh yeah, don't forget, sometimes I get a lot of the stories from listening to Jim Bear King, King, and I just love listening to him. His country's cornbread. I just love it. Anyways, so thank you for joining me, Tammy. Love you, girl. Thank y'all for all your support. And remember what I said. Just when you've contacted 2,000 of your family members and friends, or shared it and told them to share it and tell them to subscribe, contact 2,000 more. This is my dream. And over there on that bed is the 3 precious little angels that I'll have on this earth. And so that's very important to me, is that we get our own little place. And so y'all gonna help me do that. Thank you for your support. Love y'all so much. Have a good night.